Hi guys, I'm Luca Boyce, and today I'll be interviewing Charlie McEntee about first year. So I have a couple of questions for him, and I'm going to ask him for his opinion, and then he's going to ask me what's my opinion. So, shall we get started?
Yep.
Alright Charlie, first question. Was this year fast or slow for you?
Well, Luca, truth be told, it was extremely fast. I can remember my first week almost vividly.
Yeah, it's crazy. It felt like yesterday the Christmas market was happening.
Oh, I tell you, that was so fun. Yeah,
That was so fun, yeah. Second question. Was this year very busy in regards to work and activities?
Yes, it was. Between the musical debate and podcasting and all sorts, it was some load of fun. I well done again on your medal for the debate.
Oh, thanks, Charlie. It was pretty easy for me too. I liked having the activities that kind of made you forget the work until you had to go back and do it. The work was pretty easy. The teachers were very nice and they made it easy to understand the work. So it wasn't too hard. Alright, Charlie. Next question. What was your favourite subject this year?
Ooh. To be honest, Luca, my favourite subject would have to be IT. Because at the end of every term, we could just go off and do our own thing. Go on to the internet, do whatever we want on the computer.
My honest opinion, I'd probably have to choose 3, but if I had to choose one to do every day, it would probably be podcasting.
Yeah,
That's a good one. That was a good one, yeah. Drinking tea all the time.
And the biscuits.
And the biscuits. You can't forget the biscuits.
No.
Alright, Charlie. So, was everything laid out neatly for you? Like, for example, did the teachers give out good instructions in class for work?
Yes. On the boards, they would actually show learning intentions and what we would get out of this class. And then most of them would show more and more PowerPoints. And then others, they'd also show us in the book.
Yeah, I feel it was the same way. Our maths teacher, although most of the work we were doing, most kids found hard, he'd always come to them and then he'd show them an easy way to remember us.
Oh, he'd come down to you, like?
Yeah, he'd come down to you if you put up your hand. He'd say, hey, is everything okay? And then if you said, hey, I'm just really stuck on this, I don't know how to do it again, he'd show you a very easy way to remember us.
Oh, my maths teacher did the same, yeah.
Alright, Charlie. Did you meet loads of new people, and were most of them nice?
Definitely. Sure, Jesus, too early to count, shall I say? No, I haven't met one really bad person.
Me neither. Most kids
that's my friends, anyways.
Yeah. I made lots of friends this year that weren't people I actually even knew. Just entering.
We're the same. We didn't know each other until a few months back.
Sure, you might meet a couple people you think that are friends, and then you just stop talking to each other, but you can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs.
That's a good one.
Alright, Charlie. Was there anything you didn't like this year in regards to classes, people, or activities?
No.
Me either. Most classes were good, most activities were actually very fun, not hard, and most people I met were very nice and they liked me.
Yeah, it's all the crack, sure.
All the crack.
Yeah.
Right, Charlie. Were there any activities that you recommend to others or incoming first years?
One word. Podcasting.
True.
It was bloody excellent.
Yeah.
Couldn't say enough about it.
Couldn't say enough. Tea, biscuits, having chats, no walks. You might say that's not a lot of podcasting, but in our opinion, it was a great class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when we actually brought in the microphone that day, when we actually brought the equipment, Jesus.
Jeez, that stuff was like £50.
Yeah.
Did you feel that everyone was treated equally in the school, such as race or sexuality?
Definitely. Sure. A few minutes ago, I was just in room 27, and I was just typing up a few stuff on the computer. And there was a kind of sort of test going on, but it was helping those who didn't know. I think it was either the English that they didn't know, or the Portuguese.
I think they were learning both. I think it's like they wanted to learn 2 different languages, kind of like how we learn Irish and something else.
I think some of them would learn English, some of them would learn Portuguese.
So, alright, Charlie. What did you find challenging about first year? And did these problems get resolved quickly?
In fact, no, it was so easy for me. It was Quick, job done.
But I've had some
Like-
I have a bad past in primary school. Most kids, I was the only kid who wasn't interested in GAA, so it was a bit hard finding someone who was relatable to me. So you think it's going to also be hard in secondary school when that's happened to you. But when you go in, I was actually shocked by the amount of people who were nice and all the teachers who were kind and all that, and they were really helpful.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't think there's any problems that needed to be resolved. Alright, next question. Was settling in quick? Was it socially awkward to make friends? And did you have a warm welcome into the school?
Jesus, I catapulted into the bloody place. Like, I remember walking in, there was teachers there, they were all smiling, they were all delighted.
They didn't seem upset. They didn't seem like Squidward. Another day, another migraine. No,
Maybe it's because it's a little bit of that first year's got their own little
they
introduction.
kind of matured a little bit. They're not as, they don't seem like they're on Monster Energy drink 24/7. Alright, Jen, question 12. Would you prefer secondary school over primary school, and why?
Every day of the week, I would prefer secondary school because at the start of it didn't really feel like school. You see, when I was in primary school, you'd have to come up if you were burst for the toilet at break. You had to come up to the teacher and say, "Oh, we can't have done the letters," because we were a bit.
My teacher just for the teacher and most half of the year, you just have to do this. But in 5th class, we always were switching to teachers, and half of them said, you have to say on no catacomb PD on that race, but most of us were just still doing this, and she was like, that's not correct, you're not going to the bathroom until the end of class. I choose secondary school over primary school every single time, just from bad experience, honestly. But yeah, other than that, I would still prefer secondary school. Very nice. It felt like I was a family, like I was part of a different family now. Yeah. One big family. Except quarter of them you actually have friends, and then the rest are just like those long lost cousins.
Take a guess how many people are coming into the school next year?
Oh, God, it was like 860 something?
862.
You're right. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, next question. Do you feel that any of the rules in Colaiste are strict, and why?
Gosh, Tom, I feel that we have that freedom. Because, like, if the rules are strict, we wouldn't be here doing this recording right now.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Lots of the teachers are very nice. They feel like they give you a warning or something, but it's only really if you do it multiple times that they actually do give you a detention or something. Yeah, I feel like the only thing that's a bit strict is the hat rule. I mean, because if someone comes in with like a cap or something, that's fine. But alright, so next question. Do you think the current mobile phone policy is fair and understandable?
Very.
I can relate to you. I feel so many kids say you should be allowed to go on your phone during break time.
No.
It just kind of breaks your... Because scientists have actually proven if you're in school and you pull out your phone, even just looking at your phone makes your school mode turn off. You just stop feeling the need to work, or you forget all the information you had. Yeah. The first few days, school, kids are trying to sneak their phone out, do Snapchat stuff. Oh yeah, I got 1,000 snap points now.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? I met a friend once, 500,000 snap points. He's had Snapchat for only about 2 years.
And he has 500,000 snap score.
He says that half the points come from him just sending memes to people. Yeah, some people need help.
Yeah,
Okay, let's get back to this. What advice would you give to the incoming first years? And why this advice specifically?
I'd have to say, do not dilly-dally. When I say that, I mean, don't be trying to dawdle along to class saying, oh, I've got this class now, oh, I hate it. There's no point. Because if you do that, you lose PS square points, you lose time, you're going to fail on your exams. You have a higher chance of failing on your exams.
There's one thing I'd have to recommend to them. It's if you're going into first year and you have a couple of friends from primary school going in too, and then you're like, oh, I really like arts, maybe I should join that, but then your friends say, no, join woodwork with us, we're in this, but you don't really like woodwork. You don't have to go with them. You're still going to be friends at the end of the day. Maybe something might not go your way, maybe they might not have the same hobbies as you all the time, but it doesn't mean it has to stop you from doing what you like. And trust me, this is from experience.
When I was transitioning from primary to secondary school, the day before that happened, I got a call. I was actually in the same class with all the lads from my previous school. So that was good. That was good in a sense.
Yeah, a couple of kids in my class were upset when they found out which classroom they were going into, but not a big problem for them.
But there's no need to be upset, because you'll see them at lunch, you'll see them at break, you'll probably see them at the break class where you're going to other classes.
Okay. Do you think that junior cycle students who go to town or the garage near here during big break, like
No.
senior cycles?
No. No.
In my opinion,
just because, you see, if we try and attempt to do that, they haven't matured. Most people haven't matured. They're only 13, 14, and 15. Some of them 16. They need to wait until they get to that, because they're more of an adult.
In my honest opinion, I feel like it should be third years could be allowed, as they have matured a lot. They might because I know lots of kids that go to the school. I'd say actually, like there's 110 people in first year, more. It's definitely more, like 100.
First year?
Yeah, how many?
180.
180. I was far off there. I'd assume that 100 of them at least actually live in care or just a minute or two away from us. So if they know what it would be like walking into town or being aware of where they are, not going into strange alleyways with the Oogie Boogie men in there.
No.
Alright, next question. Do you think that the schools should make all homework accessible online?
Yes.
I think so too.
I'd say not even just the homework. I'd say also the books. Because see, if you do it online, then there's no excuse. You don't have an excuse, because there are some teachers who do post the homework online.
My maths teacher, most of the time, he posts the homework online. I feel like they should just make the textbooks online. It's much cheaper. You're not actually cutting down wood to create the pages.
They are available online.
Yeah, I know, but teachers don't send you the link. They never send you the link to the page, or they don't send you the page with the homework. I also think if any kid, because in IT for us, we use PowerPoint to learn how to text and send in pictures and write paragraphs. Yeah, we could use that information to type homework on our laptops if any of us have them.
Yeah, sure. When we go into second year now, we'll have the CDAs, so we will have to use the laptops anyway.
Yeah. Some lads I know from second year, they have laptops and they use them all the time. Okay, next question. Do you think we should get rid of weekend homework?
I'd say, if it was an option, yes, get rid of it, because even though the teachers say you have all weekend to do it, in fact we don't, because I did the rowing, right? And you see, there was Saturdays and Sundays every morning, 9:30 to 12:30. That was it. So yeah, I do the rowing, so I don't, if I had the time, fair enough. But sometimes I don't have the time, so I'd be stressing or working. So if we can't get rid of it, at least cut it down.
Yeah, like any of the teachers who promise you we won't get a lot of weekend homework, and then they end up giving you 2 pages of questions. Knock it off. You know, so annoying.
Yeah. But this is, if we can change it where we can at least limit the homework to like only a few questions, that would be great. We would enjoy that as students.
If maybe they gave us some revision of what we learned over the week, instead of just reading a whole page in the last 5 minutes of class and saying, okay, you have to do the questions for those. Because maybe if at the end of the week they said, okay, I need you to write a short paragraph about what we learned, I'd be perfectly fine with that.
that's fine.
That's actually
That's understandable.
That's understandable. But then making us do questions, some of us don't have time.
No.
Okay. No. Question 19. Do you think that it's an early start for school in the mornings? And what time would you change it to if you could?
No, it's a perfect start.
We're
We're gonna have to redo that. I just waited to study there. Right, 3, 2, 1. I'd say that it's a good start. It's a normal start. I'm used to it because see, in my primary school, it would be the same time. But I have to see. I leave the house at 8:10. I go down. So I'm used to that now. I wouldn't change that because if we made it any bit, if we made the start point later, we'd have to make the end point later. So I'd say keep it because I like it to have it being as
I understand because you want to because if you wake up early, it also helps you when you're older and you need to wake up early for work. Maybe your alarm doesn't go off. Sometimes on the weekend I'll wake up at like 20 to 8 and I'll be just so annoyed because of that. But in my honest opinion, it would be better if it was around the time of not 10 past 9 or 9:15. If you do 9:15, it allows so many more kids who aren't morning people to get up and have more time to eat their breakfast. Because most kids in my class have said that they have to wake up so early to get to school. They get one bite out of their toast before leaving. But I just think it would be nicer if people if school started at 9:15. Maybe you have to arrive at 9, but school doesn't start until 9:15. I just think it would be much nicer at a later time just for the non-morning people.
Yeah.
Alright, and finally, the last question. Should the school ask students to do an election as which activities or sports should be played during physical education?
Personally, I'd say yes, because if they do that, then kids can open up to what they enjoy, what they like. Because if they don't, then they could be in this one quiet area around at the corner of the room.
Playing hurling and they don't even want to.
Or just not doing anything at all. Because see, by doing that, it can help people to engage more and to talk to others and be friends with others.
If you say
find clubs near them.
If you want to, let's say the teacher said, okay, you have the option to do rugby or basketball. You might choose basketball, and then another kid chooses basketball, and then you realize you two have like basketball and the same teams of basketball, and then you start becoming friends, and then you find out that there's basketball clubs and all that. You find there's a basketball club in the school. You start going, and you meet lots of more people who are just like you. Very, very useful, that actually. Okay. But yeah, it's just very useful because it helps people make friends who are just like the same hobbies as them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Charlie, did you have a nice time talking today?
Yeah. It was good.
I'd say we got a lot done and we got to give our opinion. So, nice seeing you today, Charlie, and I hope we can talk again in the future.